part.
And it's actually pretty easy to play. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It helps me make cool arrangements like this one. What's up everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Guitar channel. In this video I'll be doing a tutorial on the song Orange Juice by Noah Kahan. I'll be covering the difficulty, the intro and verse guitar parts. So this also has the post-chorus, chorus, and verse parts as if it were the banjo. And at the end I have 3 helpful tips. If you take a look at the left hand, it has a lot of irregular chord shapes that are just like little 3-finger chords. And then in the banjo part, you're gonna have to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs. But honestly, the left hand's not that bad. So for this reason, I give the left hand a 3.5 out of 10. The rhythm of this song can be kind of tricky because it has syncopated notes. However, it's very intuitive. It has just a natural feel to it, so it kind of balances it out. So for this reason, I give the rhythm a 4 out of 10. The right hand in this song uses standard fingerstyle patterns. You also have to do some right hand single note picking. But even still, it's easier than you would think, so for this reason I give it a 4 out of 10. Adding up the left hand rhythm and right hand difficulties average out to a 3.8 out of 10. Don't forget to slap a capo on fret 2. I will mention that he does play this song without a capo, but obviously he's not doing the banjo part, so he gets away with it without the capo. But to add in the guitar part with the banjo, I have to have a capo too. Let's get started. So the way this intro works is you're going to have a chord shape and then you're going to do a fingerstyle pattern. And so the first chord is your 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 4th string, your 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, and then your 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. And then we're going to take a look at the right hand. Your thumb is on the 4th string, index on the 3rd, middle on the 2nd. Those are going to stay right there. They don't move. Those are their assigned strings. So the pattern is thumb, index, thumb, middle, which is 4, 3, 4, 2. You're going to do that pattern twice in a row like this. When you do that very slow, it sounds like this. Thumb, index, thumb, middle. Again, thumb, index, thumb, middle. And that completes one fingerstyle pattern. From here, you're going to keep this exact same left hand shape, but you're going to slide this fret 5, 3rd finger down to fret 4. And that's on the 4th string. And then you do the same right hand pattern, which is like this. From here, you're going to go to an E minor chord shape. And you're just going to leave your 3rd finger on fret 2 of the 4th string. Everything else is open. Same right hand pattern. And this is nice. You're going to get a freebie here. Then you just have open strings and you do the same pattern. Now here it's going to change a little bit. You're going to put your 2 finger on the 5th string and then your 3rd finger on the 2nd string. Both these are fret 3. And you'll do the same right hand pattern, but your thumb is going to go to the 5th string. So you'll play the same pattern, but just use the 5th string instead. Just 5, 3, 5, 2. 5, 3, 5, 2. And then you're going to go back to you fret 2 of the 4th string, and then the 3rd and 2nd string open, E minor. And then back to our freebie, open strings. So when you put that all together, it sounds like this. Our top chord with their 3, 2, 1 fingers. Slide the bass down. E minor. Open. Freebie. C add 9 shape. Again. Back to 2, E minor. Open. And that completes the whole intro, and this is what he does for the verse as well. He just repeats that. And he does add in this cool little chromatic bass line leading into the banjo part, which is the 4th string open and then fret 1, which would just be like this. Okay, so we're at the banjo part here. This is what we would call the post-chorus. And what you're going to do is have your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and that's going to remain there the entire duration of this. And that frees up your pinky to play the 7th fret of the 1st string. That'll be going between open and not, and then your 1st finger will be on the 5th fret of the 2nd string. So the pinky and 1st finger will be jumping on and off, but your 3rd finger remains. So let's take a look at this. It'll be open 1st string, pinky on the 7th fret, open 2nd string, 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then you're going to play the 5th fret of the 2nd string. So that's the first half, and it'll sound like this. A little slower. Oh, 7, 2nd string, 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd string. part 2, you're going to keep that third finger down on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, and then your index and pinky, you're going to do some hammer-ons and pull-offs. So you'll play the 2nd string open, and then you're going to play the fret 5 on the 2nd string, hammer on with your pinky to fret 7, pull it back off, and then you're going to play the 7th fret of the 3rd string, which was already there, and that completes the second half, which sounds like this. A little bit slower, it's like this. 5, 7, 5, 7 on the 3rd string. So when you put both of those together, it sounds like this. And then the second part. And it just repeats. A little faster. And full speed. From here, we're going to go to where the banjo would be playing chords, and this happens in the chorus and in the verse, and it's the same exact chord progression. So you're going to have a D chord shape all the way up on frets 7 and 8. So fret 7 on the 3rd string, fret 8 on the 2nd, and then fret 7 on the 1st string, just like our standard D chord shape. So let's take a look at the right hand fingerstyle pattern. Your thumb's on the 3rd string, index on the 2nd, middle on the 1st, and those are their assigned strings. They stay right there. And we're going to do thumb, index and middle, and then you're going to do thumb, middle, index, middle, which is all that together is the 3rd string, 1st and 2nd, 3rd string, 1st, 2nd string, 1st, like this. And you do 2 of these to complete one fingerstyle pattern per chord, like this. Again. And that would complete this chord. So then from here, we're going to go to a D chord. From here, we're going to go to a D chord shape, but these are all irregular little shapes here. They're kind of inversions. And you're going to have your 2 finger on the 7th fret of the 3rd string, your 3 finger on the 7th fret of the 2nd string, and your 1st finger on the 5th fret of the 1st string. And you'll do the same exact right hand pattern like this. From here, we're going to go to an E minor inversion. And your 3rd finger's on the 5th fret of the 2nd string, your 2 fingers on the 4th fret of the 3rd string, 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 1st string, and you do the same right hand pattern. And then we're going to go to our standard D chord shape, which is nice, and same pattern. And then from here, we're going to go to our C chord shape, which is exactly the same as that D chord one, but just slid back to frets 5 and 3 here. And you're going to do the same pattern here, but you do this chord twice in a row, which would be like this. And then again. From here, you're going to go to an E minor as normal, and then a D chord as normal. So when you put that all together very slow, it sounds like this. G chord, D chord, E minor, D chord, C chord twice, again, back to E minor, D chord. That completes the chorus and the verse. Except sometimes he does have one strums for these chords, so you'll have to look through and listen to the song and find out where he does that. And I've got those one strums listed in the full score. The first tip I have for this song is using your guide finger, like a guide through the forest. So if you take a look at these banjo chords in the chorus, we have our D chord shape, which leads to a D chord shape. And what you're going to notice here is my 3rd finger stays on the 2nd string, my 1 and 2 fingers come off, and I slide it back a fret. And then build up the chord. So this would be a shared finger on this string, and you don't take it off of the string. So that's a mistake. Taking it off and then putting it back on, what you're going to do is leave it and slide it back, and that's going to help you change the chords. This is called a guide finger. And you can do the same thing from D to E minor, and actually all you have to do is slide the whole shape back 2 frets, and then move your 2 finger back 1 more fret. So they all 3 stay on the same string like this. So you can hear me crossing the frets, so you don't leave them, you don't press hard, you kind of release pressure and then slide them back and then press again. And you can do the same thing going to a D chord, so your 3rd finger stays on the 2nd string and your 1 and 2 fingers switch and make that D chord. Same thing going back up to a C chord. Same for all of them. So that third finger is on the second string the whole time, and then sometimes even your first and second finger are going to stay there as well. The second tip I have for this is to practice these hammer-ons and pull-offs separately. So here's an exercise I've got listed for you that's going to help you with this. You take it and isolate this pattern. That's exactly what's happening here. So you should do the same thing down here, which is 0, 1, pinky on the 3rd fret, pull off back to 1, and then play the 3rd fret of the 2nd string like this. And then you go to this next set of strings. So your 3rd finger's on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string, and then you put your 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the 2nd string, and you do the same exercise. It sounds weird, but this is great practice. So you could do it like this. The third tip I have is to practice these 120 right-hand studies by Mario Giuliani. It's going to really make these right-hand banjo patterns and fingerstyle patterns a lot easier. You can check them out in my Patreon right here. If you got any questions, please let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to help. And I also take requests, folks, so you know the drill. If you got a song you want me to do, I'll make a tutorial. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.